first class will be on the YouTube link. I will just pass you the link. You can watch it after the class. And when you enroll for the course, uh, like in our website here, you will get the your batch recordings. Here you can watch day
Okay.
1, day 2, day 3, day 5. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is when you enroll for the course. And if you want to see the course details, you can watch it over here. You can take a look over here that what are we going to do in our coming classes. So you say that you have been out of touch from the past 2 years.
Yeah, about two
Oh,
plus years actually, more than 2 years.
so uh, I will ask you that you know how to install Visual Studio.
Yeah, Visual Studio installation I have done actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I say you are new to the Selenium actually.
yeah, new to Selenium.
Okay, so we will be going in a very systematic manner and covering each and every aspect of the Selenium. So, you know loops, arrays, and function.
Oops, arrays and functions I know.
You know loops, array, and function.
Oops,
So,
yeah.
okay, so so I have already installed my Visual Studio 2022 as well in the community version. So I'm just uh, testing your knowledge so that I can you can say uh, look in the future that how should I proceed as per your knowledge. So you know if and else statement.
Ah, see, I'll only tell about my knowledge. See, basic programming skill, I know the data types, if loops, and for all the loops, conditions, everything, and
Okay,
uh, function creation, object creation, calling the object.
okay,
So those things and all I know. Okay, the
okay,
advanced level in the C sharp, for example, using the thread. Uh, uh, for example, multi-threads using or even exception handling, I know. So
okay,
main thing that abstract interfaces, those things I have not used.
okay,
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 the definition, how it works and all I know.
okay, okay. So can you ask one question? What do you mean by static or non-static?
Static, it's a function, so we cannot create any instance for the static function. If you want, non-static functions, we can create the instance. Means the object can be created for the non-static functions.
Okay, suppose if I'm declaring my you know global variable and local variable, you know
Global
that.
variable, I know.
Okay,
Yeah.
suppose uh, if I want to assess suppose my int y equal to 0 in
Mm.
my main function, so how can I assess that?
Directly, I can call the
Okay,
y function.
so,
Mm.
okay, you say that you can call directly. Suppose it is
Mm.
100. So here I say int you can say a equal to 200. So now I want to add a plus y, and I can write it as console dot write line and say a plus x. So can I do this?
A plus, y. Yeah,
You're saying you can do, you can assess
yeah.
the, you can assess, sorry, you can assess
Mm.
y inside this.
Because the global variable.
Okay. So now if I run, it will not give any error.
I thought it will not give, but some error it is showing.
Some error it is showing.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very basic, you can think that static function can assess only static variable.
Okay, okay. Mhm.
This is the you can and interview can ask you these types of question that
Mhm.
static function
Mm,
can
mm.
assess only static variables. Okay. You have a experience of how many, maybe 1 year or 2 year, maybe more than 2 year,
On which?
on C sharp language.
More than that, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, four
Okay.
years of.
So, okay. So if I want to assess this variable, I have to make it as static. Now you see it will not give any error.
Mhm.
Okay. So this is the basic question that in my interview, the first question in my interviewer had asked that can static function assess static variable or non-static variable? So you have to be very clear that static function can assess only static variable. But in case of, you can say, uh, non-static function, which is uh, public mm, void uh, from all, and I say here, suppose there is variable int b equal to, can say 300, and I will say console dot write line, and I say b plus y, so it is not going to give any error.
So
Okay.
non-static function can call
Yes.
static variables.
Yeah, this is the very important point. I will, whenever you watch this video, just write down these key points, whichever I am writing.
Yeah,
That
I'm writing down. Yeah.
non-static function can assess static as well as non-static variables. So this is a key difference between, you can say, static and non-static variables. And you clearly see that what is the difference between, you can say, static function and non-static function. That in static function, I have used the word keyword static. By this, it will make my function static. Okay, so one question more, that uh, can I say console dot write line, and I say variable a, which is 200, can I write a plus y?
No, we can't write because it is inside the static function. We cannot call that.
Okay, suppose if I make my function, now if I make function static, now can I write a plus y?
Still, we cannot call that function
Why?
because it is inside one static function only.
But I have made my function static as well.
Yeah, here I have no idea.
So because this is an local variable, this scope
Mhm.
of this
Okay,
variable is inside
inside.
these brackets only.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it is called global variable. I can assess in any function as function as way function as I can assess in any function as I want. So I cannot write this because it will give me an error that the A does not exist in the current context. Current context by means the scope of this function, and the scope of this function is inside these brackets only. Okay, now suppose if I run my code, or you can say, so it will. print for this one as well? You, I'm questioning you that this will print some, you can say 300 plus 100. It will print some 300. Hello.
Yeah, yeah, it will print
It will print some 300.
400.
B is 300. Okay. And Y is 100. It will print some 400. Okay. Now, first of all, we will
Yeah, it will
look in.
print 400.
It will, in your opinion, it will print 400. First of all, when I call my function, now here it is, it will print, I think so, A plus Y, then it will print 300. Okay.
Mhm.
So now when I execute my code, it will print only 300, but it is not printing, you say 300 plus 100.
We are not calling the second function
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah, we have to call the second function in our main function.
Mhm.
Okay, you can say some all.
We can create the instance and the call.
You simply, why it is giving error?
Because the instance has to be created, the object for that function needs to be created.
Mm, no, that's not a problem. If I hover over the error, an object reference is required for the non-static field. My function is non-static and my
Mhm.
main function is static. So I have to make this function as static to call this.
Static function will call only
Stat
static functions.
yes, this is again a point
Mm.
that static function can access only static function. Okay, this is again a good point that static function can access only static variables and static function. Okay, so we have to make this function as static. Now, suppose there is one more function, public, you can say static, you can say all total. Okay, sorry, public static void all total, and here I will say int c equal to 400, and I want to print the result of console.writeLine c plus y. Now, I don't want to call this function all total inside my main function. Okay, I don't want to call this function inside main function, but I want to print the result of c plus y. So how can I do that?
Okay, C plus Y I have to do and display this. Then
Yeah, I want to display the result of c
we,
plus y.
Mhm. We need to call that function.
Yeah, I have to call, but my you can say condition is that I don't want to call in main function.
Okay.
So
No, huh?
I have said you one thing that static function can access only static
Okay,
function.
static function.
This
Hmm.
function is static, this function is static, and this function is also static.
Yes.
Okay, so can I write something like now? If I execute my code, now it will print 500 as well.
Okay.
Now you see that it is coming like something is written to automatic glue, something is written is over here. To
Hmm.
read all of this, whenever you write the function, in the end, just write console.read key. Now, if you execute your code, now you see there is nothing written over here. Okay, now
Hmm.
you see that I have called my static function in another static function. Okay, now one thing
Hmm.
is more in Visual Studio that you can put breakpoint. You have the knowledge of breakpoint.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I want to put breakpoint over, you can say here. So where should I put the breakpoint?
Oh,
How, yeah, how do I put the breakpoint? You know debugging.
debugging, I know. So
Yeah,
here, if you click on the line numbers it mentioned,
fixed number. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
if you double click on that, it will start breakpoint.
I am double clicking on it. You have to click on this.
Uh,
Okay.
mm.
These are the live questions which I have faced in my interview that put some debugging points or breakpoints over there. Now suppose if I put a breakpoint over here, this sum all function, you have to go line by line.
Line by line
So yeah,
debugging. Yeah.
yeah. So after pressing which key I will go line by line? Do you know that?
F5.
F5 will run, it will run execute the whole code. Now suppose if I'm over here, uh, I'm executing my code. Now it stops over here. Now when I press F5, I'm pressing F5. It will execute the whole code.
Completely execute. Okay.
Yeah, but I have to go line by line. So
F4.
so for that we have F10. Okay. Now if I execute my code again, now pressing F10, F10. Now after pressing the F10, will it go to this function?
No, we have to go inside that.
Yeah, inside I have to go inside this function and I pressing line by line. I'm pressing F10. If I press F10, will it go to this function or not?
No, it will not go.
Yes, it will not go. So for going into this function, you have to put breakpoint again here. And you can put as many as breakpoints as you want. Okay,
No,
now
no
if I
other key command to go inside the function. No?
yeah, I'm you can say you are pressing F10, F10, then now it will go in the next breakpoint. Okay, now suppose these are the very literal questions, but these are very basic questions. The interviewer is saying that it is trying to seeing that you have done something or not. Okay, so when I execute my code again, it will stops here. Now, if I press F5, will whole code execute in one go, or it will stop here? What will you think?
It will stop. It will stop here.
Yeah, it will stop here. If I press F5, it will go for the next breakpoint.
Mhm.
Okay. Now we say that Visual Studio is the IDE. You know what is IDE? You know what is IDE?
IDE, I know, but full form, not
It is Integrated Development
integrated
Environment.
environment. Yeah, development environment. I was saying.
Integrated
Yeah,
Development Environment.
development.
It is an open source IDE. This community version is an open source IDE that can be
Mm,
used by you in order to learn C
mm,
sharp.
mm,
And this is more than enough from the testing point of view.
mm.
So, do you know Selenium or not?
I don't know. I have worked on coded UI. Coded UI tool, you know.
Okay, okay, so that I understand. So most of the students which have come to us, the main question is that from them is that how tough is Selenium? It is very, very easy, but it requires some time. Like
Yes.
you planted a plant today and also you want fruit same day. It can't be done.
Mm,
Okay,
mm.
you have to give some time in order to have a brief knowledge of Selenium to clear interviews.
Okay.
Okay, now uh, I have created a project. You know how to create a project in Visual Studio.
Yeah, go to file, new, then
Yeah.
project. We need to collect the language.
Uh, in this application, suppose if open Visual Studio for the first time, now here it will say create a new project. Then
Mm,
here we are doing here some console app projects. We are heading for
mhm,
use C sharp basic concept. So we are doing some console app for
mm,
our understanding.
mm,
uh, Go for the console app and here you see that it is saying C sharp and Windows and console, and it is more than enough for understanding this step. Now
mm,
there is a term called n unit. You know n unit.
mm.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. So question is that why we need to learn n unit? What is n unit? Why n unit is required while we talk about Selenium with can say C sharp and any other. So why this is required? So let's take an example. Suppose if I now when we work on Selenium project, what are the requirements or what are the basic requirements? Well, you want to read the data or you say can say read the data from Excel file, read the
Mm.
data from and say Excel file or you can say XML file or you can
Database,
say
any other.
any file or text file. You are reading the data from that file. Okay, and then you need to generate can say you
Report.
need to you need to generate reports which is in can say XML HTML format or XSLT report. Okay, or can be any another report, and also you want to take some you can say screenshots, want to take some screenshots of your errors or any other thing, and you want to generate you can say logs as well. So you know what is logs?
Logs, if it is failed, we need to display what is the result.
That is the screenshots we are taking error of the screenshot. But what are logs?
Flow
Basically,
of the run, the flow of the text execution.
yes, this is
That
you
is
want to
log.
know what happened each and every moment in my framework, or you can say that it whether it is fail or pass, it will print all the execution of my test cases. Now,
Steps.
when we talk about Selenium, actually we are talking about writing, you can say. Selenium scripts. This is script 1, script 2, script 3, script 4, and many more scripts, which will run one after the another or just run parallelly. Okay, now will not serve the process. Who can tell them to run parallelly or run one after the another? For that, we learn an unit. An unit is an heart of the framework, or you can say project. This is an unit. Okay, so it will see it will read the data from Excel file. Okay, and tell which script. Suppose this is script 1, this is script 2, and this is script 3, and this is script 4. So suppose it is taking the data and telling the, you can say, scripts which have to run parallelly or simultaneously or one after the another. It would tell the scripts to run, and then it also takes the screenshots, sorry, takes generate reports
Report.
and take the screenshots and generate logs as well.
Mm,
Okay, it will organize the stuff, and unit will organize the stuff,
okay.
but you cannot, and but you cannot learn and unit like that. For this you have to learn C sharp, and in your case you have learned C sharp, but these are the basic concepts which I'm asking you, that interview can ask, that what is static, what is non-static, what is can static function call non-static variable, how you can declare global variable and
Mm,
local variable. Okay, now you see that it's now one thing I have asked you, that it is now in my, if I run my code, it is printing 300, 400, and 500.
yes.
Okay, now suppose if I say sum is, okay, and here I will say, so it will again print 500. Okay, in the first instance, without, when I don't write sum is, it will print 500. Now when I write sum is, so now it will print 500 or not.
Yeah, it will print. C plus.
Okay, we
Mm,
we look into that, and we run it.
Sum is 500 will come. Oh my god. Some buffer value, garbage value.
So this is to you have to very careful when you're playing with the string. This is string
Mm,
and this is integer. When
integer. Come.
integer adds with string, it both act as a string. Now,
Okay.
so printing 500, I have to make this.
Boxing.
Okay. Now, if I execute my code again, you see now it is printing sum is 500.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to very careful when you are working with strings. Okay. Debug mode, I have already told you.
Mm,
Now, I'm again, you can say, uh, writing a very small code. Suppose if I say int x equal to 100, and here I will say int z equal to 200, and you say int one more variable, say q equal to 300. Now, if I write if x is greater than y and y is greater than z, then it should write console.writeLine x is greater. Okay, and
Mm,
if in another condition else if y is greater than z, then it will print y is greater, and else we will say I'm assuming that you know if and else.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. Now in this case you
Mm,
clearly see that it will print you can say first of all I'll comment this. It will print that uh, int x z and you can say q. It will print that q is greater.
mm,
Okay.
yes.
Now
Yeah.
suppose if I here I will first of all just be uh, to see that what is printing. Now it is printing q is greater. As q
Mm-hmm.
is greater than can say. Now if I say 250 is greater than suppose okay sorry that's my mistake x is greater than z and z is greater than uh, q
Mm,
and z is greater than q and else. Now it will also print that q is greater. Now if I
mm,
say that 250 and I have declared the variable as 250. Okay. Now
mm.
what will happen? It will print q is greater or it will print x is greater or it will print z is greater.
Q is greater, it will print.
Okay. It will print q is greater. Okay. Now suppose there is one more variable int you can say t. Okay. And I say that t is equal to you can say 290. Okay. Now I have this condition and I will say if t is greater than x, so now what will it print?
X is greater, it will print.
Why?
So because first or symbol is there, no? So in or symbol, any one of the condition should be true. So here t is greater, x is true. So and
Yeah,
here and condition is there. So here one
yeah,
true will get and this one.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That you have said that right. That in our condition, it will look for the either of the condition to be true, which
Mhm.
is t is greater than x. So it will go inside and print x is greater. And in and
Mm,
condition, it will look for the both of the conditions to be true.
mm,
Okay, so
mm.
these you have done. Now, if I say, suppose I have declared something like you can say string, can say k equal to, you can say string name equal to something like Delhi, or you can say Hyderabad, anything. And if I say string city equal to uh, Hyderabad, okay.
Mm.
Now, what is the difference between this string with small s and this string with capital S?
Above string is the data type,
Okay,
that is string. Below capital S is the about capital S string. I don't know.
okay. Now, when I declare int a equal to 200, when you hover over the int, it is a data type. It
Mm-hmm.
represents a 32-bit signed integer.
Mm-hmm.
Integer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm.
I will come over to that. But if I want to declare my decimal value, so where I can declare that?
Float.
I want to declare my decimal value. Suppose int, you can say c equal to 4.9. It is giving me error.
Mm.
So,
You have to use the float. I say data type.
okay, I will say you are saying float. Okay, again it is giving me error. Okay, you have done. We use double.
Okay, double.
Okay, so these are very small and basic question, but after so many gap, it will be for you to that brushing your knowledge. Okay, so you know, uh, int double. So there is one more data type. You can say bool.
Mm.
Okay, so
To
I have to,
display true or
yeah,
false.
yeah. So I can declare bool well like this or not.
You can declare, but you need to assign the value for that true or false while doing the
Yeah,
function.
I have to assign this as whenever I declare a bool, it should be either true or either false. It can't be null.
Yeah.
You have to declare it that whether it is true or whether it is
Mm.
false. You have to declare your bool value. Now, coming back to our question that what is the difference between this string? Now, suppose we have data type int. When you hover over this, you see that system.int32 represent a 32-bit signed integer. Whenever double represent a double precision floating point number, system.double. When you hover over, can say another variable, you can say one more data type which is known as char w2 equal to r. This is the, can say, uh, data type which is system.char, and only one character you can store. You can't store double character. Like if I want to space t, then it will give an error.
Mm.
That,
Only one character.
yeah, only one character is allowed inside the char data type. Now when I hover again char, it says sorry, system.char. Now when I hover over string, you say it says class system.string. Okay. Now
Okay.
it says that system.int32, but there is no class. But when I hover over string, it says class system.string, and again it says system.string. These both are same. There is no difference between the two. The
Mm.
difference is that small. S is an alias of capital S string.
Okay.
Like
String.
if my name is, can say, if my name is Abhijit, people can call me Abhi as well.
Mm.
Abhijit with small a as well. My Abhijit with small a is an alias to Abhijit with capital A. So there is no difference between the two. And one question again, interview can ask you that there is a data type which is an inbuilt class inside C sharp. What is the name of that data type? And the answer is string.
Okay.
This data type is an inbuilt class inside C sharp. Okay. Now, you know concatenation operator.
Yeah.
Uh, which one is concatenation operator?
Sorry. Plus
Yeah, plus sign will act as a concatenation operator.
concatenation. Mm.
Now, B and V are two different variables, or you can say in this example, two different words,
Mm.
but after assigning the concatenation operator, it will act as a single word. Okay, now please be careful when you are using concatenation as string with, can say, uh, integer. Now, suppose if I say C plus Y plus, you can say, mm, sum. Now, what will be the result?
C plus.
Y, C is 400, Y is,
Mm.
you can say, Y is, I think so, 100. Yeah, Y is 100, which I declared
Mm.
globally, and plus sum, the string part. Now, what will be the answer?
Where is Y here? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This we have not done. It will give the error, no, because
No,
concatenation between string and integer.
no, I said what will be the, when when we are doing this, like when we're doing, when there is no brackets here, so it will give you the result
Error.
like sum is 400 100. Okay, now if I write like this, what will be the result?
500 sum to display.
Okay, we will run this, and 500 sum it is. So why it is adding 400 plus 100?
Because initial, it is in the initial stage of the display, no? So it will first it will add, then it will concatenation with the string. The plus will work as a concatenation.
It can add with you can say first of all it can add with y plus sum, then it can add with c plus y, or can see it will add the answer result of y plus sum can add with c. But why it is doing c plus y then sum? So this is the rule in a programming language that can say execution of code always go from left to right side. This is the rule in any language that execution of the code will go from left to right. First, it will print the sum of this, which is 500. Then it will add with concatenate with sum, which is string. Now, then they both act as sum. Okay, the answer is that execution of code always go from left to right. First, it will look for the first two variables.
Mhm.
Then it will go for the another variable. Okay, so you have to be
Okay.
very careful in that. Now here, when I put brackets over here, now this whole bracket is act as one variable, and this plus sign is act as one variable. That's why it is printing sum is 500, because first it will go for this bracket, bracket inside the bracket. It will go with the brackets, then it will go after that. Okay, so you have to be very careful using this. So now, so
Okay.
till now, everything that we have discussed so far is present in every programming language, whether it is C Sharp, PHP, Java, or Python. The concept remains the same for every programming language, that how you declare the variables.
Mhm.
Okay, so you know loops as well, in my opinion. You know loops as well.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, suppose in the same, we can add one more class and uh, name it as any class. And here, whenever I add new class, I have to declare my main method inside this. Okay, whenever I create a new class, I have to declare my main method. And now you know loops. Suppose you know I while loop, you know for loop, or you
Yeah.
want me to discuss some of for loop or while loop, or I will take one example for your understanding, or I will move forward.
Example you take once.
Okay, suppose if I int I equal to 0, and I will say while I is less than 10. Suppose if I take, yeah, while I is less than 10, console dot write line I, and here again I can say I equal to I plus 1. Okay, and again I will say console dot read key. Okay, now if I run, this will give an error. It will give error because now there are program has more than one entry point defined. So main method, after creating the main method, it will first time go into the main method. But in my program.cs file, there is one main method more.
Mhm.
So to solve this problem, we will go to our project name, right click on it, go to our properties, and here it is called startup object. And my class is class 1. I will select this as my startup object and close this. Every time you make your class and startup
That's
class, just close this always. Otherwise, you will gather in your next class. Okay, now if I run my code again, you see it will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, uh, as I have taken I is less than 10. So why it is not printing 10?
because I less than 10,
So for printing
9,
10, so what can I do for printing 10?
less than or equal to.
Yeah, this is a simple one. You have to do it. Because now you have known the for loop as well. Again, I will say for int y equal to 0, y is less than 10, then y plus plus. And again, I will say console.writeLine y. First, I will comment this. And again, if I execute my code again it will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what is the difference between two, or in your opinion, which one is better? Yeah, hello?
Yeah, yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, among that. So while loop will be good sometimes because we can handle inside the code only the um what should be the incrementation, no? So we can handle inside the source code. But
Suppose you have you say your while loop is here. Sometimes while loop is very much bigger. Okay, you have to increment this part. Suppose by chance you have missed this part. Okay, now
so,
what will
uh,
happen? You have not declared. This is, you say, this is the initialization. This is your condition,
condition.
and this one is the incrementation. But you have missed the incrementation part. So what will happen? Now we will see. Now you see it will go into infinity mode. It will
Mhm.
print it will print y. It will go into infinite loop. But now say suppose you can say you miss the say, incrementation part. So what will happen if we
So
run
error.
our
Show the error here for the follow.
it it will go again into the soul. So but you see that we forgot this part, but here it we have to type it as well because it's, you can say, initialization, or you can say condition and incrementation all in the same line. So
Okay.
now the, you can say, exercise for you. Suppose if I want to print the sum of first 100 numbers, how can I do that?
Sorry, come again.
If I want to
Mm,
print the
mm.
sum of first 100 numbers, like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 till 100.
Okay, so the um, y equal to 0 less than 100,
Okay,
less than or equal to 100.
okay.
So now down y, y will be 0, y plus. So I'll assign the y value to another variable.
So how can I do that?
Int x equal to y
Where should I declare it? Int
inside the for loop.
inside the for loop. Okay. You can say you are saying
No, no,
int.
no, down. After console dot write line,
Okay. After console right line. Okay. Int
uh, x equal to
x
y.
x equal to y.
So I need to display one by one or all together I need to do.
I no I don't want to display it. I want the sum of first 100 numbers. Like you say 1
Now y equal to
plus
y.
2. Pardon? I want to print the sum of first 100 numbers till you say plus 100. I want the result of this.
So above that I'll display, I'll do x plus y. So
Where?
initial I see I'll initialize x equal to 0.
Here only in line number 24.
No, above I'll int x equal to 0 I'll do. Down x equal to y I'll do.
Okay, int
Int x
x
equal to
equal to
0.
0.
uh,
Okay, then
Down
uh,
down x equal to y I'll do.
x equal to y.
Above that I'll do x plus y.
Okay, x plus y. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, but it is giving error. No, I think so. You are saying that x equal to x plus y.
Yeah.
Okay, and after that, I will print. You say console dot write line
Down
x.
is not required, that place.
Okay,
The 25 line number is not required.
okay, no, okay,
Yeah,
and
now you can display the x value.
okay, okay. Now, should I run my code? And we will see that it is printing or not. The sum of first 100 numbers. It is printing like 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6.
Why also we mentioned, no? Okay, it is just displaying the number. So can you
Yeah,
comment the 23 line?
uh, 23 line. Okay,
And see what it will display. First it will be 0, 0, 0, 0 equal to 0. Next one will come. Please run once.
okay. Actually, it printing the numbers, but not a
Numbers
sum.
only. Hmm.
So this is your exercise.
Okay.
But I
Mm.
think so. We are going for the class, and that tomorrow morning you don't get any much time. So I will do it for you. The thing you are doing, your logic is somewhat good. But suppose uh, if I declare this uh, one here, and I will stay here.
Um,
Okay. Now, if I execute my code, no, it is printing 5050, which is correct. So you see, now this act as an global variable for this. See, first it is x equal to 0 plus 1. It is
mm.
not when you declare inside this brackets, whenever this loops come back here, this x is always 0.
Oh, again it will become zero. Okay, correct.
Okay, that's why
Mm-hmm.
I have declared it outside my curly brackets and
Mm-hmm.
adding one by one, 0 plus 1, then 1 plus 2, then the you can say result plus 4, result plus 5, result plus 6, result plus 7 till 100. Okay, so you have to be very careful when you declaring your variables. Okay, so now I'm ending this session because we have got to an hour class, and tomorrow session is in the morning, and you will not get any time to study this. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm ending this one, and I will upload as soon as possible and pass the link to you. So we will meeting tomorrow at 8 a.m. It's
Yeah.
8 a.m. is okay with you, na? And till
Yeah.
now,
18.
yeah, till now you are satisfied with my, can say, with my concepts, because I am moving little bit fast than the others, because in my opinion you know some of these data types, some of these the concepts. That's
Yes.
why I'm moving little bit in the you can say fast.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
till now today you have understand all thing.
Yeah, I understood. So I understood about the mainly the static. I had some confusions actually that I understood, and I learned about that the string that is a data type, and also use a class that can be used
Yeah,
at a data type is a string
yeah.
that I was not aware actually. So
Okay.
that I understood. Yeah.
Okay, just when you go again, I'm saying that when you go through these types of video, this type of recording, just go for your notepad or something like that, which where you remember your points.
Mhm.
Just write down that points, and whenever you
I'm
go for the
writing
interview, yeah, whenever you go for the
in a
interview,
notebook.
just go
So
through that points. It will help you in your interview,
mm,
because in my
mm,
opinion, nobody in my time will tell me these things. Yeah, I have to read these
mm,
things and I have to make this my own.
mm,
Okay, that something like that bool variable can be declared as null. So answer is
mm,
no. It cannot be
mm,
declared as null. It has to be true or false.